Hey, Shutter Magazine readers. It is December. We're coming up at the end of the year. I'm Philip Bloom. And as I come to you, there's a lot of tumult and confusion in the photography world. Actually, not just in our industry, but small businesses all over the country that use Facebook for their business pages are all up in an uproar. And you may have heard this news. It's been reported by several sources. But Facebook is planning an overhaul. They've rolled it out already in 6 countries, and we're expecting it to come to the US. And that change means that Facebook pages, their posts are no longer going to be seen in the news feed at all. So your already limited ability to reach potential clients through a Facebook business page, which is important for cell phone businesses and photographers in particular, is gone, right? So that's been scaled back over a period of years. And I remember the first time that Facebook scaled back on how much reach business pages had. That was a huge thing. This is even bigger though. I think that one source is saying this is the death of small businesses. But let's not get too worked up, right? Because this will result in the death of a lot of small businesses if those businesses only exist on Facebook or have put too many eggs in one basket and really using Facebook for organic marketing. I want to give you a few tips to help you avoid this Facebook blackout and make sure you have a thriving photography business anyway, despite it. So the first recommendation I want to give you is to branch out to new social media platforms. I mean, look, here's a quick look. This is what all the tumult is about, our Facebook pages, right? This isn't the only place you want to exist online by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, Instagram is one place where these changes aren't going to take effect. Even though Instagram's owned by Facebook, make sure you have an account there. Even if you don't have an account, you can use your Facebook page to advertise and create marketing posts on Instagram that maybe that still makes your Facebook page worthwhile. It's a great tool for doing that. Younger generations are on Instagram much more strongly anyway. Facebook is kind of geared toward an older demographic in terms of who uses that site. So you want to always be flexible. I mean, I'm most comfortable on Facebook. I've been on Facebook since it first came out on my college campus. I was at one of the UGA, one of the first few colleges that had the Facebook before they even became Facebook. But yeah, I have to be willing to get away from that and branch out in new places. Now, Instagram is not always going to be safe, right? We know that even that will change. So again, don't put your whole marketing strategy in there, but be willing to reach out, sort of stretch what you're comfortable with. And I want you to encourage you, number 2, don't just try new social platforms because we know that the techniques of like maybe trying to use a personal page as your business page doesn't work. We've had friends who have gotten those shut down. You can share your Facebook page, your business page posts personally, but you can't do that too often, or else your friends and the few people who follow you are going to get tired of those anyway. I mean, how many friends have you muted because of all of the essential oils advertisements that their Facebook profile has become, right? So it's not just workarounds like that or using new social media platforms. It's also taking control of your website. Remember, your website is foundational to your business. If something is foundational as your website, should be owned by you. Years ago, when Facebook pages were first introduced, it hasn't actually been that long, 2012, I think. A lot of photographers flooded the market. I think more so than the digital photography revolution, it was that really saturated our market with young and often inexperienced photographers. We heard people bragging all the time, I don't even have a website anymore. I can, social reach on Facebook is so amazing. I just have a Facebook page. The idea was that would always remain free. I can tell you that the strongest, most amazing marketing platform in the world, Facebook, that was never their end game, to give you free marketing to the world, right? So just assume that these people who lead these companies are thinking out a little further than we are about their businesses, and don't rely on them. Own your website. For us, if we wanted to own a website, we also wanted to make that more magnetic, right? So we didn't want all of our traffic to just be on social media, because when that changes, then all of a sudden your business plummets. What we want to do is make our website magnetic by giving it great SEO. And I know that scares the bejeebies out of us. I'm no SEO expert, but I will tell you some of the hygiene stuff you can do to keep your website strong. Use a modern platform that's HTML, mobile friendly, and has strong SEO built into it. The stuff built in that we don't even know, most of us, how to improve, but it's part of the website. We use Showit. Showit 5. Showit sites are made for photographers and artists. So if you're like us, you love how you can just drag and drop and customize your site, completely customize. Wix and Squarespace are great, affordable website makers that work great for SEO too, but they're not customizable. They're you're rigid and set in. So we love Showit for that reason. The SEO built in is very strong. And then some hygiene, like when you're exporting your images for blog posts, make sure to custom name those with some keywords. We are using Atlanta or Athens, best photographer, some of these things to name our photo files. And then we're using BlogStomp to upload those quickly to our blog. And make sure if you use a tool like BlogStomp, go into settings and untick the rename file option, or else you're going to undo all those keywords that you've taken the time to name your files as when they came out of Lightroom. So watch out for that. I've done that many times and regretted it. So keywords there, when you title your blog posts, make sure those are original, descriptive, not repetitive. If you're putting best Athens photographer in your blog post titles all the time, you'll actually be penalized for that. So avoid it. Now, in terms of your blog posts scare us, right? But this is important for your website to be magnetic and useful on all social media. So let's blog easily. I would always get writer's block, just like all of you do, when I had to write another wedding or engagement blog post saying how this was the next, this is the new cutest couple ever, and how wonderful the engagement shoot was. Our readers don't want to read that anyway. So when you send your clients a contract, why not include a survey and ask them to tell you their love story, to tell you about their hobbies, tell you about their family. And then now we just take that information and copy and paste it into our blogs. That's what their friends want to read anyway, and it draws more people to our blogs. Also, we ask wedding couples for their vendor information, and they give us their websites. We just copy and paste everything into the blog, improves our vendor relationships and our SEO, and we didn't have to do any of it. Finally, advertise strategically. We come to the point where you just need to make Facebook advertising part of your budget. And I know that hurts a little bit, but it's actually great because the business tools that are in our business pages now are amazing, cost effective. And what you want to do is not just put a billboard advertisement up about I am Bloom Photography or I am whoever, but advertise a specific service and send it to a landing page, like a Sticky Folios landing page, where it will strategically draw them through a process to book you right away. Very effective. Finally, you guys, I want to encourage you that this change is ultimately, it's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing for all of us. Don't panic, even if you're a new photographer. I think this change is going to separate a lot of those who can afford a marketing budget from new entering photographers who can't do that. They're not going to survive as easily. So we're not going to have the saturated markets that we've had for years if this goes into place. But don't let that scare you if you're a young photographer. I want to encourage you, instead of being one of these many tech-savvy millennials who we've seen enter the market and be really successful for a couple of years and then fizzle out, you have the chance for real long-term success, because this is going to force you to refocus on networking and traditional old-school business principles that have worked for hundreds of years because they're based on reality and human psychology, and the chance to be mentored and learn and create relationships with those who have walked these paths before. My wife and I have run fastest growing, most successful studio for almost a decade now. And we love all of the students in our community, those that we mentor. And so we invite you to join us on theblooms.co, BLUMES.co. And we hope to get to know many of you, but find a mentor out there somewhere and just be a true professional, and don't let this or anything in the market stand in your way. Adapt. And you will do well. Looking forward to seeing many of you do exactly that. We'll see some of you at Shutterfest soon, and have a great end of your year. Bye.